Nation. Harry here, and I'm back with a super good friend from the old days, as we might call it, and then now his friend. So we have Jeff Conley, who was the longtime owner operator of CMIT and a big supporter of SMB Nation. And Jeff, we've interviewed you up here, and people understand that you exited CMIT in recent times, and now you're introducing us today to Roger Lewis, who is the head of CMIT. So Roger, welcome. Jeff, welcome.
Thank you, Harry.
Thank you for having us.
So Roger, let's do a hello world. What is your story? I understand that you were an MSP and now you're running CMIT.
Yeah, well, let's back up even before that. So I came from big corporate America, worked at IBM for a number of years, and then left with a group of partners and became part of an organization called Team Tech, and which was an IT support before MSPs were cool. And so I've been on this side of the fence of IT service and support, and then grew that business, and then exited, sold it out to a company out of New York, then did another technology startup, grew that and sold it to a Vista Private Equity, which is actually based out of Austin and California.
There we go. So how long have you been in the saddle at CMIT?
Wow, it's been a year and a half now, right, Jeff? I think June of 2019.
It has, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say I've noticed, and as you would expect, changing of the guard, and times are changing, to say the least. So I've noticed some new messaging coming out of CMIT in the marketing area. So let's talk marketing. What's going on?
Yeah, so look, when I came on board, I had a pretty extensive sales and marketing background from being a serial entrepreneur, and had a certain vision. My first vision was the concept of a marketing playbook for our franchisees every month. So essentially,
every month. Good Lord.
We do a new theme, and like we'll take ransomware, right? And we create all the assets, and we do all our advertisements and all the social push. Everything's will be around ransomware. And so every month we pick a value prop, and we focus on that as part of our marketing playbook and rally the franchisees around executing on the playbook. And then we also have something called the Marketing Success Wheel, which again, a lot of our franchisees being from the IT industry really weren't experienced with marketing or what made up great marketing. And so we developed some very simple concepts for them. The Marketing Success Wheel kind of broke it up into 6 areas, from the website SEO to outbound advertising, events, webinars, social campaigns. And inside of each tactical area, we spelled out here are best practices that should be done, and even partners they could work with, and dollars that should be spent, and just educating them on overall how much money should be spent on marketing out of your revenue. And so between the Marketing Success Wheel and the Marketing Playbook, we've had a lot of success in driving our growth over the last year.
Yeah, next quarter when we get together, I'm going to make a side note. Maybe if you're able to show the Marketing Success Wheel, that'd be great. If it's proprietary, I understand that too. But I get it, and I'm all about infographics and Lumascapes and ecosystem charts, because basically I can understand them. So, but now on the marketing thing, I just had a conversation. In fact, with a client I have in Austin earlier this week about the concept of marketing as a service. And here's how that conversation went. And I have a question on the other side, is that in the MSP space, there are these marketing agencies. Mind Matrix comes to mind, a fairly large provisioner of content. And so they're going to have a repository of canned newsletters and little ebooks and this, that, and the other that you, the MSP, can modify and maybe take to an offset printer, right? So you have the glossy postcard with your logo on it. That was one concept. And then the other concept was because that puts a burden on the MSP to actually do the work, right? You say, well, there's the library, just go over and grab everything and do it. And what I found is the MSPs aren't wired that way. They just won't go grab the pre-made materials and complete the last steps. So I'm aware of other services where they'll do that for you. So 1,500 a month, we're gonna load up your tweets. We're gonna do your LinkedIn post. We're gonna send out your newsletter. We're gonna do it all for you, Harry. And that overcomes a hurdle where these MSPs have blockage. First of all, have you seen that hurdle in your career where the computer guy just doesn't market?
Oh yeah, look, and a lot of them weren't even aware they were supposed to marketing. They would tell me marketing's like a bonus, a gravy. It's not part of core running a business. So just educating the computer guy on how fundamentally important marketing is, it was huge. And then to your second point, we also saw, like, even once we had the playbooks and all these great things to hand them and say, just go, create, here's the Google ad for you to advertise, just go put it and you plug it into your Google, and here's all the graphics and the emails, and everything was spelled out for them, and even teed up in Salesforce from the hit certain buttons and make it happen. Still, some of the work didn't get done.
Yeah.
And very similar what you saw, we started piloting a program called a marketing coordinator. And our franchisees through home office can hire a marketing coordinator who will actually execute their playbook, who will take their marketing success wheel and put the SEO into practice, and the online ads and the PPC, and do their tweets on Twitter and LinkedIn and all those social platforms. And we've had good success with having a marketing coordinator for those who really, aren't going to do the work, kind of take it that last half mile to get it across the finish line.
Yeah, and do you do that at a reasonable fee? And you don't have to answer the question, but it almost seems like, a marketing coordinator needs to be paid for the work they do. Are you upcharging that, or are you viewing it more as a break even, that you just want your friend, you'd rather have them use it at
Yeah,
as low cost as possible?
exactly. We made it extremely affordable. I'm not sure I can share the price, but look,
No.
we made it very, very affordable so that it's hard to say no.
Yeah.
It's not look as a profit center, like you said. The overall goal is to grow the franchisees, right? And as they grow, we grow.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll end on this. The other thing I tracked, in fact, with our friend Jeff up in the upper window, this last spring, unfortunately, when the pandemic hit, but I noticed that you were very quick in my eyes to get on the remote work messaging, the work from home messaging. And you still have that. I still see your ads on that.
Yeah, look, it's still, look, the pandemic has fundamentally changed how we view the workplace, right? And like the hybrid work environment, we don't believe it's probably going to go away anytime soon.
Yeah.
Even once there's a vaccine, it still will be into play. And so the remote office and being able to work remote and support and being able to do that safely and securely, and not opening up your home office network to ransomware and other threats, is an important component. And we see that's, again, going to continue through 2021. And for sure, for the short term, it's here to stay, this hybrid work environment. And long term, we'll see.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think it'll be next quarter, but maybe within a year, the three of us can meet at the Salt Lick Barbecue in Driftwood, Texas, and shoot our segment. I have remote, the microphone and camera set up, so we can do a remote. Because, Jeff, I didn't even tell you this. Recently, it was brought to my attention. I didn't know they had it on the menu, but apparently for $28 a person, it's all you can eat barbecue, like those Brazilian barbecue restaurants. And I'm used to paying $60 at a Brazilian barbecue. You know what I mean? And I'm like, now we're talking. Now
Harry, I can't eat everything on the standard menu, so that's going to be amazing.
All right, gents, keep it safe.
Let me just work in a little something. As you hand off a business you put blood, sweat, and years into, you always wonder, how's it going to turn out? And I will tell you, I cannot be happier with the direction CMIT has taken. Roger, he and I share a love for the New Orleans Saints,
Yes.
the city of New Orleans, lots of other things. But as you can see, he has taken what I left hoping it wouldn't go sideways, and he's taking it into elevated levels well beyond what we had the capability some couple of years ago. So I'm really proud. And I just want to publicly thank you, Roger, for everything you're doing, for all of the offices we worked hard to establish across the U.S. and Canada, and what you're hearing from Harry about how we are seen outside of our own microcosm is truly the way the world sees us. And you and the rest of the marketing team are doing an amazing job, along with everybody else in operations to keep everything else operating. But I want to thank you publicly and invite others to take a serious look at CMIT, because you got it happening right now.
Thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate it. And hey, we'll have to do a Saints game. I'm not sure if you can see this behind me. That's the Drew Brees Super Bowl picture when they won the Super Bowl in 2009. And look, I'm hopeful this year, even though it's a pandemic year, that things are looking good for them. I don't want to jinx it going sideways. So let me knock on wood here.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. And as I've said before, my mom and dad met at the University of Texas in Austin, which is why I'm in the process of relocating to that. And they had their honeymoon in New Orleans. So now we're talking. All right, gentlemen, have a nice day.
Thank you all.